What does vaping affect in your mouth, with your teeth and your gums and your throat tissue? Have you ever given any thought? We want to talk about that today. So we're going to talk about vaping and oral health. We're going to talk about the effects of what it does to you and some strategic ways to minimize the effects. And hopefully you'll consider maybe not doing as much or maybe quitting for good. So that would be great. My name is Becky Moore. I'm with Restart Hygiene, and I love talking about teeth and gums. And so today, this is the subject that I want to talk about. And this is from my friend Kelly. She was talking about it with me and thought that this would be a really good subject that I could serve my listeners and viewers. So please stick around and see if you can learn anything that can help you. All right, let's get started. So we all know that vaping has become fairly common, especially with our teenagers and our young adults. So we want to make sure that we understand, if you make an informed decision about your life and your health care, that's all you can do. But to be informed, to me, is really important. And sometimes you don't get all the answers you need, but you get enough information where you can make a good decision. So hopefully today we'll answer some of those questions for you. We want to make sure that you minimize the effects, the damaging effects of vaping on your teeth, gums, and your throat tissues. Because you only get one chance around with these adult teeth. And one mouth, one cheek, one tongue, one throat. So let's get going here. Well, we know vaping is an alternative, or it was introduced as an alternative to smoking. So anytime that you're putting nicotine in your body, it's affecting your body. Whether the vape has nicotine, there's other harmful effects in it. If you read labels, you will see what I'm talking about. So just keep your mind open and make an informed decision about you and your health. It is hard to stop. It is a habit just like smoking is. So it's a hard habit to stop. And it's just something that we start doing and we really don't give it as much thought for consequences, but we want to do that. There are different kinds. There's the vape pens, the vape mods, and then the disposable vapes. You're supposed to be 21 to be able to buy it, but we all know that you guys can get a hold of it without being 21. So just making sure that you're doing the best that you can with the information that you have, with the habits that you have. All right, so let's talk about the effects of vaping on your teeth and gums. So the tissues are dried out. Anytime you inhale something that's got heat in it, you're going to dry your tissues out. When you dry your tissues out, that dries your saliva flow out. So your saliva flow is meant to keep your teeth and your gums lubricated. When the mouth is dried out, it can't do that. So a lot of times what happens is the pH in your mouth, the acidity level, goes down. It goes down to a number below 6 or 7 that is considered an acidic environment. An acidic environment is when cavities can start growing. Now, we're only talking about you vaping. We're not talking about a drink you may have. Even a diet drink would have acid in it. We're not talking about coffee. We're not talking about energy drinks. We're talking about just vaping. So think about this as a whole perspective of all day long what you do to your teeth and gums and how it affects you and your teeth, your gums, your whole body. But the drying the tissues out is very important to understand. So we're going to talk today about some ways that you can keep your tissues lubricated. Be mindful of the acidity and the pH levels in your mouth. So drying your mouth out is not good. It can cause cavities. It can cause gingivitis because, again, the saliva flow helps to keep everything in your mouth at an equilibrium. So it's equal. It's leveled out. It's within normal numbers so you don't get cavities and gum disease. Acid erosion, enamel erosion is really bad with vaping and anytime you're ingesting anything because that, again, brings the pH levels down. Erosion is just, think about it as acid erosion on the rocks. It does the same thing in your mouth. The acid actually eats holes in your teeth. It can. Impact on throat tissues, again, it dries your mouth out, dries your tissues all the way down your throat. These need to be moistened, and when you're ingesting something that's got heat with it, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's definitely a concern as well. So we don't know what the long-term risks are with vaping. We know tobacco products generally are supposed to cause cancer. We just don't know what they do as far as the long-term effects. We know short-term effects. If your mouth is dry, you're going to have cavities and you're going to have more gum disease. And that's becoming more of an issue as we go on in time, unfortunately. So the one thing that I would say that if you do nothing else, just make sure you see your dental provider every 6 months to a year so that they can monitor your soft tissues and notice if there's any changes in these. Because we catch it early, we can help you with cancer risks and other diseases that are in the mouth, cavities and gum disease. All right. So if you're thinking about quitting, I would highly encourage you to really consider doing that. Reach out to family, friends, other resources that can help you with that. And you can do it. I know you can. I've never smoked, so I don't know how hard it can be, but it can really harm you in long term. So I wanted to offer some instructions that could give you some ideas about how you can minimize the effects. Now, as a dental hygienist, I'm going to tell you first to brush your teeth twice a day for 2 minutes every day. So that's the best way. Using a fluoride toothpaste is the best way to help keep your teeth as strong as they can and to prevent cavities and keeping those tissues healthy. And the less bacteria you can have is better for you. Number 2 is something you may need to think about, is using a non-alcohol mouthwash. So alcohol tends to dry our mouth out. So we don't need any more drying effects if we are vaping, right? So we want to keep our tissues as moist as we can, as lubricated as we can, so the disease processes don't get away from us as easily. Drinking water is my third way that I would say really drink water throughout the day. Good old tap water is the best. Good old tap water is the best. And if you can sip on this throughout the day, that's good. Sipping on soft drinks or acidic drinks can really catch up with you if you compound the effect of other things that we do. So what we eat, what we smoke, what we drink can all do a really big job on damaging our teeth, and we don't want that. So drinking water keeps your mouth lubricated, but it also keeps the pH levels in your mouth high enough, the acid levels, where they're not able to form cavities as easily. So we want to keep our pH levels at a 6 or 7, and that will help decrease the amount of cavities that we have. Something that I have started doing myself is coconut oil pulling. I'll take a tablespoon of coconut oil right out of the jar, put it in my mouth, swish it around for 3 to 5 minutes. It gets easier the longer you do it, I promise you. And I spit it out. I spit it out in the trash can or outside. I don't spit it in my drain. But the coconut oil is antibacterial, and it's antifungal. So it's a really good for removing or decreasing the bacteria, but it will also help to lubricate your tissues and your passages, which is also very beneficial to you. Chewing gum. So one of my favorites is xylitol. You probably heard me talk about it. It's a sugar alcohol. Spry makes a brand of chewing gum. They make mints, which I love. That exposure to that can help moisten your mouth, helps increase your saliva flow throughout the day. And the xylitol product can actually decrease the bacteria in your mouth, which is a win. Win. So let's get some xylitol in our system. All right, so making sure you're taking enough vitamins or you're eating good food. Some vitamins that I want you to do some research on and make sure, and I've got some other postings about these too. Vitamin A, calcium, vitamin D, vitamin C, and magnesium are the ones that I want you to make sure that you're getting enough of. These help with gum tissue. These help with remineralizing your enamel from the saliva flow. So these are very important for you to make sure you're getting enough vitamins. And reduce your sugar and acidic foods, as we've already discussed. Be mindful of, okay, I'm vaping, I'm having my sun drop if you're in the South, or I'm having my Mountain Dew or my Coke, or I'm having my black coffee, which is very acidic, or I'm having my lunch. So you want to make sure that you are minimizing the effects of the acids and the dry mouth as much as possible. Okay. We'll say it one more time because I want to make sure you heard me. Please see your dentist regularly. Please see your dental provider every 6 months, no more than every year, to make sure that nothing's changing. If you have cavities early, we can find them, which will save you a lot of heartache and probably can save a tooth too, if you will make sure that you are doing well. If you're thinking about quitting, I would encourage you to please quit. Habits are so hard to quit, especially as you get older. We don't know the long-term effects of vaping, so I want you to be as well aware as you can be. I don't want you to have a mouthful of cavities. I don't want you to lose your teeth. I don't want you to have harmful effects of cancer down the line. And these are the reasons that you're watching. If you're still here watching, you know this is important to you too, and I respect that very much. So the main thing you do is drink water. Make sure you're keeping things clean. Be mindful about what you're doing when you're doing it throughout the day, and taking care of yourself. Good luck with everything that you're doing. If you're liking the content that I'm putting on, please like and subscribe. Put comments if you want other ideas discussed. I would love to do that for you. And I thank Kelly for giving me the idea. So hopefully this helps serve you guys. and I hope that it helps each and every one of you. If you put one thing into play, you will benefit. I promise you.